Well, welcome back to the Steve Rob Show. Today, nails versus screws again. Guys, I tell you what, I've never seen a more controversial vid in my life when I filmed that one. I'm going to get into it right now, and let's start from the beginning. This is where it all started. 2 regular deck screws. Here we go. 2 regular framing nails. No nothing, no cracks, no nothing. Okay, so here we go right here. 2, guess what these are? Construction screws. There they are right there. Construction screws. Let's take a look right here. You see right there, almost looks like they're building a house with them, eh? Let's take a look. There we go. 2 regular construction screws. Okay guys, here's some joist hanger nails. Big box of them right here. And here's a hurricane rafter joist hanger. And what do some of these goofballs say you're supposed to do? Oh, you can use a drywall screw. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. And you can't use one of these doohickeys here either. You have to use the right stuff. Let's take a look at that. Let's see how these do. No cracks, no nothing. Okay guys, so we're back to the old controversy again. You see this right here? Got this from Home Depot. Right over here. It kind of looks like they're building a house out of it. Guys, these screws here, so-called construction screws, these are identical. The only difference is this one goes in pressure treated, non-pressure treated wood. This one goes in pressure treated wood. That's the only thing. And they both shear off fast. Now, I have had so many comments on that vid saying, I've been building decks for 40 years, never had a problem with a screw in my life, and you know, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I don't know what part of the world you live in, but you cannot use deck screws for structural integrity. They do not take any side shear, and you know, when you're using the hammer, of course, you don't go around hitting a screw on the side with a hammer, but that just shows you how brittle they are. And then I get the guy saying, oh, I've never ever had a problem with a screw breaking off. Well, you're a goof. I'm telling you right now, because if you've been building decks for 40 years and you haven't been using a board, this is a plastic board, but there's also just regular 2x6, and you got the 2x6 here and it's bent up and you try to use your screw to drive it down with, well, it just pops the head right off it. And if you've never seen that, well, you're a goof. That's all there is to it. So here we go. Now we got these here for joist hangers. You know how many goofs said that they use drywall screws, or they use just you know, a regular deck screw, treated or untreated? I mean, I don't know what's going on here, what part of the world these people are living in, but I think they're just off the moon. So guys, when it comes down to deck screws, do not use them for structural support. They're not meant to go into a joist hanger. They're not meant to hold the support of the total beam. They're not meant for that. The reason why the bylaws say you're supposed to use nails, now they do have specific screws for that, and everybody's getting all bent out of shape. You should use a specific screw for that. Okay, fine, there is. But what I'm getting at in these videos is telling people, the average homeowner's going into Home Depot and buying these things and think they can build a bloody house with it. Well, you can't. Go and check with your building inspector in your specific city and find out what you're supposed to use. But this idea of just saying, I'm a certified contractor in the comments and I've been building decks for 40 years, never had a problem, and I use screws for everything. Well, you're just a goof. That's all there is to it. This stuff here, fantastic. Guess what? Wintertime, I've used this stuff before, putting this over top of a set of stairs. And guys, the water gets underneath it, and sometimes the frost, especially in the springtime, gets underneath it, and it will push this up, bust the screw heads right off. So of course, you got different gauges. You know, you got 8, you got 10, you got all kinds of different gauges of screws, you got all kinds of different gauges of nails. Guys, I cannot go into all the specifics, but no. Deck boards are only supposed to be used with deck screws or fence boards, and that's it. You want to build everything you want out of all this other stuff, knock yourself out. But as you can see the sheer strength of them? They just snapped right off like nothing. And that's what will happen if you try to use these things. That's okay for a backyard, building a doghouse, or if you want to, you know, interior. Like these things here on the interior, I would say, sure, if you're going to have like a non-load bearing wall where you're just going to hang some drywall on or something, fine. But don't start using them for house construction like some people think you can do. Now, I would say, be very cautious what you're doing. Be very cautious when you're reading the comments and you're seeing somebody that says they identify themselves as a structural engineer and deck screws are okay, or they identify themselves as building decks for 40 years. And guys, you know what? I got no time for them people because, you know, they're just bouncing their hands on the keyboards and that's all they're doing. So be careful where the information that you get it from. Best place to get information how to build anything is from your local bylaw enforcement officer for the building department, or hire a professional. I mean, guys, I'm telling you what, I've seen this time and time again where, you know, regular do-it-yourselfers figure that they're doing something right and they don't look into it. Things go sideways on you. Next thing you know, you're paying huge legal costs because somebody got hurt. So that pretty well wraps it up for this one here, and I hope I don't have to make this vid over again to prove, yeah, stop using the damn deck screws for everything you can think of. And same as drywall screws, they're not joist hanger screws. Okay, thanks for joining in. If you haven't seen this channel before, come back again and let's have some more fun like this. Cheers, guys.